the sun in Aquarius, interpreting that transit, and the moon in Virgo, interpreting that transit. You might be busy, so I'm going to get right to it for those who don't have the time. I took some notes, so I'm going to be looking at my notes for the record. Transit sun in Aquarius. Let me show you this. I want to show this to you first. Exhibit A. This is the sun in Aquarius at 16 degrees of Aquarius. What does this mean? It means that it's 1 degree past the very middle of Aquarius. So we're in the thick of it. The conscious focus for the collective is seeing the big picture, the bigger picture, thinking differently, detaching from drama to gain insight, innovation, insight, and future possibilities. This is awareness that says, zoom out. What is the pattern? Working on figuring out what the pattern is. That makes me think about the planetary ruler of Aquarius and the planetary ruler of Capricorn, because Saturn is the ancient ruler of Aquarius, and Uranus is the modern ruler of Aquarius. So Aquarius has two rulers. Patterns are and can be attributed to the zodiac sign Aquarius, and can also be attributed, well, patterns can be Aquarius as well as Saturn. That's what I'm trying to say. So there's that. Now the moon in Virgo. Virgo is a sign of analysis and details and specifics. What I put here is I put your emotional body is tuned in. That's a good note. Well, I'm on a quest not to say what's good and bad, but it's a note that's descriptive of the zodiac sign Virgo, because Virgo is an earth sign. And the earth signs are deal with material worth. Your emotional body is turned into details, practical needs. What's working versus what isn't. Health routines, or health routines and improvement. Being useful and effective. This is the feeling that says, okay, but how do we fix this in real life? Virgo at times tries to fix, like a nurse of sorts. Maybe not a night nurse, but a nurse. And so this is Virgo here. So put your questions in the comments. Say hi, your zodiac sign in the comments, and I'll share a little bit with you. Thank you so much for being here. Sun in Aquarius, moon in Virgo. Aquarius is the container. It's the container because, why is it the container? It's the container because Aquarius is symboled as a water bearer that contains or holds the water, similar to how the clouds hold the water, if you will. And that container and the parallel to a cloud is it gives the idea of a group, things that are grouped together. You're Gemini. There it is. Gemini is here. Gemini is here. So when you were born, the sun was positioned in Gemini. And by sharing that piece of information, it automatically creates a relationship that can be interpreted personally for you with Gemini, between Gemini and between Aquarius, where the sun is now. And so that relationship creates a relationship that speaks to education and learning and exploring and the adventure, if you will. What are you exploring? What are you being adventurous about? You're being adventurous about networking, learning how to engage with the group, possibly, learning specific techniques, learning ninth house techniques, Aquarius. Now, this is one layer to the interpretation of the zodiac sign Gemini and its relationship to Aquarius. There. The ninth house, the ninth sector also points to transportation, long distance travel, and journeys. We never stop learning. We never stop learning. And this, the last 16 days, the last 2 weeks, approximately, potentially, you have been learning a great deal about people, even the truth about people. Interesting. Everything in life has a symbolism to it. Everything. And it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful when, and as I take my time to really comprehend what the symbolism is about. Perfect. Symbolism is a great, you know, you think about a stop sign. A stop sign is a sign and a symbol that says stop. You wake up, you stub your toe. Hopefully, no in here. It's a sign for something. And maybe perhaps it's saying, slow down, right? This here is a sign. It's a bunch of signs and symbols, a bunch of them. There's even a cross in here, not for nothing, and for something at the same time. For those who enjoy crosses, I don't know who, but there's also crosses in here, which is a sign for a crossing point from one point to the next. Now, there's all kinds of crosses in the world. There's good crosses, there's bad crosses, if you will. Audrey, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. Um, I'm over here on YouTube. You're more than welcome to come on over. It's the same name, same lab coat, same brown face. We're waiting for you and anybody who wants to come on over and put your big three in the comments. And not for nothing, I want to venture here. I want to venture into crosses a little bit. I want to venture into crosses a little bit because crosses, Art by Muse, thank you so much for the heart, man. I appreciate you. Come on over to YouTube. Same name, same lab coat, same brown face. We're waiting for you. Hurry. Okay. So I want to talk about one of the four crossing points. Well, I mean, it depends on how we look at this because energetically, we could say that there's 12 crossing points. We could treat each one of these lines as a crossing point, a cross, if you will. But I want to talk about the last crux and cross that the sun crossed over. Does anybody know the last crossing point? I'll give you a hint. It has to do with the seasons, which we all engage in. Now, this is per the live. This is Aquarius nature and it's Virgo nature. Aquarius is knowledge and its truth. Hi, welcome in. And Virgo is the details. If we put it together, it could be the details of truth, the specifics and the details, which is significant, which is significant. But to give you a heads up, because maybe some of you are not sure which or what the last crossing point was. The last crossing point was December 21st, denoted and symboled by the zodiac sign Capricorn. Okay. And Capricorn, it symbolizes the crossing point from shortest days to longer days. Shorter days to longest days. Now, there's so much with this cross. I'm calling it a cross because it's a crossing point, which is where I think the idea of cross comes from. I could be wrong. That's just a theory at this point. Let's check and see where does it come from? Because I'm curious. I'm an individual who is about truth and knowledge. I'm about truth and knowledge. What is the root meaning of the word cross and where does it originate from? While we're waiting for that information, thank you so much. I appreciate all of you. Be sure to like the live if you enjoy the content. If you're into crosses, this is what we're talking about right now. I'm talking about cross. I'm talking about the last crossing point, which was Capricorn, which started around December 21st. I think it was December 21st. The thing about that is that everybody here, everybody in who goes by the Gregorian calendric system um, as a celebrator of this crossing point. All celebrate it. The English word cross comes from the Latin word crux. Genitive crucis, meaning a stake or wooden post, an instrument of execution. Ladder, the familiar two-beam structure. So wood cross. This Latin word entered English through early Christian and European language pathways. Okay, that's intersection because the shape has beams that meet. Cross came to mean to go from one side to another. Okay, so that's the meaning, going from one side to another, going from short days to long days. Cross the street, our paths crossed. People began using a cross shape as a mark or signature, especially if they couldn't write. Um, it also has religious connotation. I wasn't getting to that. Emotional meaning. The meaning angry or irritable. Don't be cross with me. Interesting. From the same Latin root crux, we get crucial, literally, like a crossroad, a decisive point, a decisive turning point. Interesting. Essence, the root meaning of cross is a stake, a pole, a crossing structure, a point where lines, paths, a point where lines, paths, or meanings meet. It moved from wood to symbol to intersection to struggle to decision points. Okay, so this is a decision point. So this is a decision point. A decision point, not necessarily a decision point. It's a natural point. It's a point where the sun goes from short days to the shortest days to then the days start to get longer. It is your crossroads, and it can be looked at as your crossroads. It can be. Why didn't you pick that up, YouTube? Okay. So there's the cross. So that didn't really give me what I wanted, but it did give us um, it gave us some religious context, and it also gave us um, some context in life. Crossroads, crossing point, turning point. That's what I was going for. I was looking for the point, it to show the point where the sun changes from short days to shortest days to longest days. Dark and light, precisely. And some people look at dark as a bad thing. And with and through comprehending cosmic cycles, I've begun to appreciate the light as well as the dark because they both create this balance. On December, as we get closer and closer from September 21st, or September 21st, September 21st is here from September 21st to December 21st. There's a process of days getting shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter. Hello and love from Denver. I'm over here on YouTube. We're having a blast. Come on over if you'd like. Same name, spelling, same lab coat, same brown face. Art by Muse, thank you so much for double tapping and for sending the love. I appreciate you. Yes, Libra is the sign of balance. But we get closer and closer from it actually starts on June 25th. from June 25th to September 21st, which is known as the summertime, believe it or not, the days are shrinking, getting less and less. And this is some knowledge. This applies to this life because we're picking apart some of the details and the specifics to the sun and the truth about the sun and looking at how it has these crossing points. Because this crossing point is a significant point in the course of a year. And we're going to get to that. Um, be sure to put your comments. I'm enjoying all the comments. Um, be sure to like and subscribe if you're enjoying the content. Okay, thank you so much. I say the days are shrinking. Yeah, we get less and less sunlight all the way up to December 21st. And then what's amazing to me, it's amazing that a lot of people don't know that. Um, but that's the truth of the matter. Don't believe me, look it up for yourself. And through that, what that does is that gives us an idea of not only what's happening with the apparent path of the sun, but it also creates this symbolism that can be interpreted as reflect more and more, reflect more and more, go within a little bit more, um, get closer and closer towards patience, get more dark because darkness and resting and sleep is associated with a recharge, like the way we recharge our batteries. Not for nothing. Anybody agree with that? I agree with that. And so the interesting thing about this crossing point and the sun, that the sun crosses over this crossing point on December 21st, is for 3 days. Now, some of you might recognize this story. Some of you, maybe not all of you. I don't even know if those of you who know the story that connects to the story even knew this about the sun, the apparent path of the sun. But the sun stays at this these 3 days. Why is it three? I'm not sure. That's the way it is. But for 3 days, the sun stays at its lowest declination. And then on the 25th, the days begin to get longer. And I was like, when I recognized that and correlated it to some of the other stories, I was flabbergasted. I was astonished, flabbergasted, in awe, and all of the things because I'm like, how in the world? I was like, maybe they got their story from the sun. That's what I thought. Maybe they got their story from the sun. Possible. It's possible. If you're just getting here, welcome. We're talking about truth. We're talking about knowledge. I'm dropping some knowledge, right? Knowledge correlates to the zodiac sign Aquarius. And I'm also picking apart some of the details and the specifics, which correlates to the zodiac sign Virgo, um, about the sun and crossing points we've gotten here. Because it seems as if there's some people in here who are interested in crosses. I'm of the mind I could probably fashion my computer to um, point to where the cross came from originally, but it seems to be going towards religious practices right now. But what's fascinating and what's interesting to me is that the 3 days that the sun stays at its lowest declination. How many people knew that? I'm curious. Anybody in here know this? Anybody know this information? No? And it's a piece of knowledge that can give you some insight on the path of the sun, and where and how it correlates to nature and essentially to an individual, your personal life, and the slowing down. I think it's one of the most important cross cross points in the course of the year because it literally we literally go from dark days to light days. But because so it happens little by little. Each day, the days get longer, 4 minutes at a time, depending on where you're located. In some places, it's 4 minutes at a time. In other places, it's 2 minutes at a time. It depends on what latitude you're on. If you just got here, welcome. Put your zodiac sign in the comments. Maybe we'll share a little bit with you if you'd like. Thank you so much for your patience. Can you hear me over here on TikTok? Aries. We had Gemini, it's communication, information. It's in Gemini is an air sign, so it deals with the intellect. Next, we have Aries. Aries is here, symbol here. This is Gemini symbol here, Aries symbol here, right? And Aries is the zodiac sign. It's a fire sign, denoted by the color red in this symbolism here. If you can check this color here, maybe it's red, maybe it's orange to you, maybe, not sure. And if we're looking at the outer rim here, just a little another piece of knowledge while we're in the, talking about knowledge and truth. When we look around the outer rim here, we can see there's two other signs that are red. This symbol here, which is Leo, this symbol here, which is Sagittarius. So it's kind of like energetically, Aries is related zodiacally to the zodiac sign Leo and the zodiac sign Sagittarius. They're fire signs. What does that mean? It means that these are energized signs, energetic, enthused. It got significantly quieter. How about now? Testing, testing. Is this better? Testing, testing. This is much better. Um, this is Gemini. This is the symbol of Gemini. Thank you, Anna. Thank you so much for commenting and letting me know. I'm over here on YouTube. This is the reason why it looks like I'm pointing at something. I'm specifically pointing at something. If you want to discover what I'm pointing at, um, it's a chart. It's a zodiacal chart. You can come over to YouTube if you'd like. The name is the same. You can put at the Cosmic Alchemist. If you tap on this lab coat circle, there'll be a pop-up down here, and then you can come on over if you like. You can stay here if you like, over here on TikTok if you'd like. It's fine. We're doing big threes over here. We're talking about crosses and the sun's path, talking about dark and light, all kinds of stuff. Okay. And so thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you for stopping by and commenting. Most I hear you. That sparks something for me when you say that. Um, most people never catch on to it because I think it's because sometimes there's a lot of fluff with it. When people get to talking about these symbols and the charts, it can get fluffy. It's a fluffy place sometimes. I recognize that, but not everybody has a fluff state when it comes to talking about this knowledge that can be utilized as a tool for empowerment. But Aries is here. Let's go back to Aries here. I don't know if you're still here. Any Aries in here? This is zodiacal and planetary geometry, for those that are wondering. Thank you so much. It is a lot. It can, Anna, I agree with you. Sometimes it's more than people can chew. It is. Aries is here. It's a fire sign. I've heard, this is just a theory. I'm not a chemist or a scientist, but um, although I have recognized that there's a chemistry to um, this zodiac stuff when it comes to the elements. But what I'm trying to say is that Aries is a fire sign. Fire signs are impulsive. They're quick to act, it is said. If we look at fire and look at the atoms or the molecules, one or the other, um, they move fast. They're faster moving, as opposed to atoms under cold temperatures. They move a lot slower, if you will. So Aries, fire, Leo, fire, Sagittarius, fire, they move quick. The interesting thing about that with incorporating the current transit of the sun in Aquarius is that Aquarius is an air sign. And so there's a little chemistry there with air and fire. Air feeds the fire, not for nothing, and for something at the same time. Thus, there and for knowledge, right? And truth is the air, is the intellectual processes collectively that um it's a wind that activates the leadership qualities of Aries. It activates the willingness of Leo, and it activates um, the love to find adventure and explore. So we have Aquarius in here. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. This is a highly charged time, energetically, zodiacally, astrologically. cosmically for you. The theory is this symbol here. If you see the symbol here, looks like these jagged lines. A lot of people think this symbol symbolizes water, and maybe it does symbolize water, but it's not actually the water, it's actually the container. For real, for real. The word Aquarius means water bearer. So it's a bag or a sack that the male or woman, the male or female goes to the water, the river, the water spigot, whatever, and puts the water inside of the container. But in addition to that, these symbols here, you see it repeated once, twice, three, four, five times here. We've got Pluto in Aquarius at 3 degrees. That's a doozy for the revolution that's happening. We got Mars in Aquarius here, which is the planet that rules Aries and Scorpio. It excites things a little bit for you Aquarians. A little bit. It enthuses you even more. It's an aggressive wind, perhaps. We got the sun in Aquarius, which I interpret at times as a light. It is a light when the sun's up above the horizon. You can see birds come out, start chirping early, singing of sorts, almost as if they're happy. But moving forward, what I'm trying to say is it shines a light on the character traits of Aquarius, which are knowledge and containment. Look at that, the containment of knowledge. Hmm. How much knowledge can you contain? And in addition, we have the planet Venus in Aquarius, which has to do with beauty and appreciation and relating to others amicably and with peace, possibly. And we have Mercury in Aquarius as well, which is getting ready to um, move into Pisces within the next couple of 4 days. This is just, it's not necessarily a reading, it's an interpretation of Aquarius for those who are Aquarians and for anybody wherever you have Aquarius at. When I say wherever you have Aquarius at, I'm speaking of the house location, right? Character trait of Aquarius is truth, knowledge, and the moon is currently in Virgo, which is traded correlates to details. It also correlates to health and hygiene. What does this mean? Perhaps that paying a little more attention, right, to our health, generally speaking, collectively, possibly um, engaging in knowledge and truth, being true to ourselves, even collectively. This can be a confirmation. Excuse me. This can be a time to reflect on life, focusing on knowledge and health, knowledge and routines, even. Right? Virgo has to do with routines. We got approximately, I think later today, the moon will then shift from Virgo and into Libra, right? I've been looking at some of the knowledge, which Aquarius is the character traits of Aquarius is knowledge and truth. I've been examining the truth that manifests through looking at the wave or order of operations from one sign to the next. It's so fascinating to me. Do I read people's charts? I do read people's charts on Sunday, this upcoming Sunday. Stay tapped in, hit the notification bell, subscribe. Um, I do deep dive donation based readings. Um, Not at this time, though, later in the day. Stay tapped in. There'll be a short. Look out for the short that gives you the details. Okay. Anna, you're here on YouTube. Say hi. Say hi. Say I'm Anna Brogo from TikTok. I want to see if your name is the same. Babylonian had charts. Everybody had charts. Everyone. There's not any one culture that did not have charts. You're taking up 2 seats, take 3 seats. You can have as many seats as possible. You can even sit in the same spot as another person with this technology. 300 people in the same seat. Nobody's bothering anybody. Hi, welcome. Welcome in. If you're into cosmic cycles, if you're into zodiac signs, if you're into planetary, if you're into this solar system in which we live in, um, I encourage you to subscribe. I'm the Cosmic Alchemist. I've been doing interpreting, investigating, applying cosmic cycles to my life for over 2.5 decades. And this channel is about me sharing my experiences, my perspective, answering questions, doing demonstrations, and looking at the transits to see like what's going on with energy. It's not odd if you have people in your family that share the same zodiac sign and you get along. That's a wonderful thing. The question is not, is that odd? The question is, how does it feel? Odd or not odd, odd, normal. I mean, it all plays a role. It all plays a role. Um, the title that I go by is the Cosmic Alchemist. They don't have it on here, but um, I don't know where you can find it on YouTube. Maybe you'd have to go out of the live and look at the main page. That's wonderful that your family has great energy. If I had to guess, I would say that um, as your family being mostly Sagittarians, that it's a family of teachers. Maybe not necessarily teachers in a school, but the idea of teaching and sharing uh, about one's journey, directing people. You searched my name and got me. Anna, thank you so much for letting me know that. So now that I know that when people say they can't find me, I know that they're not putting the name in correctly. Energy is everything. I would agree. Absolutely. You have one in school and one in rehab teaching. Look at that. I've even known Sagittarius to be and engage in religion a little bit, some dogmas a little bit, maybe a little bit. If everyone is born in October, what does that mean? It depends on what day it is. October 1st to October 21st is the zodiac sign. The sun is positioned in the zodiac sign Libra, denoted by the symbol here. If it's after the 21st ish, then they'd be a Scorpio, or the sun would be a Scorpio. They wouldn't be a Scorpio, but the sun would be positioned in Scorpio. That's what that means. 1111, Libra. Or not 1111. 1111 is Scorpio, excuse me. 15, I don't know what 15. Before the 15th, then it would be a family of Librans. Libras. That's what it means. And so I see where you're going. You're connecting how um, someone shared that they had a family of Sagittarians. You have a family of Librans, not librarians. It's librarians, but not librarians, like in a library, but librarian, like more than one Libra. And so what it brings a family of lawyers, a family of estheticians or artisans or decorators. Libra is the sign I perceive Libra as a sign of peace, harmony, justice, and also artisan of sorts, and dealing with law. You find this symbol, maybe not this symbol like this, but you find the scale, Lady Justice, you know, near the courthouse. For those of you who go to work near a courthouse, you see the lady holding the, it's more like this. She's not holding it in the air. That's the Statue of Liberty, excuse me. But Lady Justice is holding this scale or this beam, balance beam with a sword, right? With one eye covered, right? That symbol, that statue symbolizes the zodiac sign Libra. Greetings, welcome in. Um, Anna, because you came over here, I will share this with you. Thank you so much. Thank you for the double taps too and the subscription. Um, a stellium of planets in Sagittarius. So this is a stellium in Aquarius. A stellium, if you look it up, it's just a theory right now, even if it is the truth. Look it up for yourself. But a stellium is when you have two or more planets in the same zodiac sign. So this is 5 planets. One, two, three, four, 5 planets in Aquarius. That's a rather large stellium. So when someone says stellium, we don't know how many planets are there, but we can say that it's more than two. So sometimes it's three, sometimes it's four, sometimes it's five, sometimes it's six, sometimes it's very rarely, but there's 7 planets out of the 10 in the zodiac sign, right? And so depending on which planets you're speaking of, it brings a highlight to that zodiac sign, Sagittarius, as well as the house compartment that it's located in. The second house has to do with value, money, material things. Sagittarius is the sign of education and learning. So squeezing those two together into an interpretation, you spend a lot of money on school products, materials for school, books, papers, pens, pencils, and such. You spend a lot of time, right? And what's valuable to you is perhaps religious topics and or education and wisdom in that regard. And each one of those planets has a specific energetic frequency, right? If it's Mercury, then it's communication. If it's Venus, then it's relationships. If it's Jupiter, then it's more schooling. If it's Saturn, then it's discipline. and learning in that way. So generally speaking, that's what that means. They're all staring at Earth. That's one way to look at it. Earth by me. You love to learn many things. Thank you so much. Very appreciate it. Appreciate you. Right. I'm curious. Has what are the planets for shits and giggles? What are the planets that are there? Are Scorpios bad for Sagittarius? Scorpios can be a little bit much for Sagittarius. They can tend to drown and put the fire out of Sagittarians. A little bit there. Scorpio is a water sign. Sagittarius is a fire sign. Not Mr. Coach. Um, Thank you so much for commenting. I appreciate you. Thank you. Have a great day. Enjoy your energy. Thank you so much. You're an inspiration to me. I appreciate that. What about the moon? Surely that has influences on how it's that symbolized. Of course. Yes, I would agree. Aphrodisiac, welcome. I'm over here on YouTube having a blast. I'm through. Supreme Rising for those who are feeling a supremacy. Under the Sagittarius is Mars, Uranus, and Saturn. Interesting. Interesting. You are to quick Mars and activated by truth and wisdom and knowledge. You do enjoy learning. Whoa, not too much on YouTube. Whoa, 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 not too much. Not too much. Clean that up. Where are the napkins? Clean that up. Clean up in aisle 3. You could stay here then. Thank you so much for being here, for commenting. Not too much. Not too much doesn't mean more. Not too much means less. Maybe one. Maybe one emoji now. Less. You know what that is? You know what that reminds me of? That reminds me of someone who has learned some significant lessons in how fast and impulsive they are with their spending. Wow. Um, Particularly between um the ages of 27 to 30. Doozy for you, right? When was that? That was back in 2015, between 2015 and 2017. Does that ring a bell, Anna, for you? I didn't mean to bring up the past, but Yeesh, a doozy. You might have lost everything. If you didn't lose everything, then your pocket, your purse, and your bank account near zero or negative. Blew up a credit card? Huh, maybe more than one, possibly. It's just a theory. Yes, please move the mop and bucket, please. Thank you so much. Aisle 3, bunch of green stuff. What other zodiac signs do we have here? Welcome in. If you're into cosmic cycles in the solar system and hearing interpretations of energy, you come to the perfect place. That was a challenging year for you too in your relationships, aphrodisiac, for sure. Virgo, new 9 naturals, 9-7. Let's go. 6-7. How are you? Good morning. Happy new naturals morning. Thank you so much for commenting. I appreciate you. You know, um, share the live with them, possibly. Um, husband is Libra. Awesome. Yeah. So, um, I've been telling people, for those of you who are here, whether you believe in this stuff or not, just hear me out for uno momento, right? Uno momento. If by any chance you come across some information, you can actually Google this. Where is the transiting moon, or where is the moon positioned zodiacally? Or according to the zodiac, where's the moon? Like the detailed information, right? Be detailed when you put it into the search engine, right? And it may tell you, you might have to check a couple sources. But for example, I'm going to use new nine as an example. New nine, when new nine was born, the sun was in Virgo. Today, the moon is in Virgo now at 23 degrees. There's a pair there. Kind of like that game where you flip over this card, you flip over this card, you find a match. We have a match there. What do we have a match of? We have a match of Virgoian character traits. The sun is a masculine energy, or expressive, extroverted, or different words, and the moon is introverted. So the extroversion and the introversion, they come together and they become one. I've found, and I've used myself as a test subject first with this, when the moon is passing by the zodiac sign, it happens for approximately 2.5 days. It's almost done, right? This is a time where it symbolizes a new beginning, kind of like the first of the month. And I say that because when the moon and the sun come together, it's like a new moon, which symbolizes a new beginning. So when the moon is in your zodiac sign by transit, it creates this newness. And it might be a time to look at it as like a reset for yourself. Virgo is the sign of the intestines and the gut health. It also points to the nervous system. What does this mean? Maybe perhaps we look at these things and we view how we feel in those areas. Intestines, do we need to do a flush? Maybe is it a water day? Is it that we eat foods that are a little more healthy so that our gut and our mind can be one? E pluribus unum. I got that from the dollar bill. E pluribus unum, out of many, one. Um, sure. It's I'm not sure. I'm not sure, actually. I'm not sure if it's like 1962. I'd have to check that information. I'd have to check. But it is a stellium in Aquarius, which highlights knowledge, truth, and being set free through truth and knowledge. It's a with this stellium in Aquarius, it's a great time to be honest with yourself. Like, yo, am I beguiled? Am I being hoodwinked in these areas of my life? Sit down with yourself. Like, yo, what's going on? Like, is this truth? Is this the truth? Be truthful with yourself. Have I wrote a book? I have wrote a book. Yes. Thank you so much for asking. I'm working on an ISBN number for it. Will be. Thank you so much for the encouragement and the reminder. You're gonna love it here. Subscribe. As soon as we get the ISBN number, we're gonna share it. Thank you. 7 planets in Aquarius, stellium from 62. Wow. Wow. That is a pairing, if especially if it's the same planets. You already subbed up? Jennifer, thank you. I appreciate that. It's encouraging. I'm on a quest to go live in the mornings, and on Sundays, I do deep dive donation based readings where people share a donation with me and send me their birth information, and I interpret it. On Sunday, it's not going to be this early, it's later in the day. Um, so you'll be there. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Thank you so much. I'm excited. I look forward to it. Grand Rising, Ms. Creamoon. How are you? Ah, not selling your mixtapes. That's a tough situation. I hope your day's better today. What's your zodiac sign? I'm curious. So yeah, so the combination of Aquarius and Virgo, I'm combining Aquarius and Virgo, and you can even combine Aquarius and Virgo, the character traits of Aquarius and the character traits of Virgo. It's the alchemy of, excuse me, the sun and the moon. In cosmic chat and talks and conversation, cosmic conversation, the sun and the moon and the rising sign are the three most important parts of an individual's chart. The sun and the moon are the two brightest lights from Earth that we can see. So they have a significant, they're very significant. This is why you hear people say, oh, what's your big three? I believe it or not, um, the big three thing is fairly new to me. Well, maybe not so new now, maybe like 4 or 5 years ish. But um, I've known the sun, the moon, and the rising sign to be significant and of importance, but for it to be called that phrase was new to me. But, you know, it's a growing process. Virgo sun, Cancer moon, and Gemini rising. Interesting. You, that combination makes me think of, or what comes to mind doesn't make me think anything. What comes to mind due to the patterns that I've engaged in with cosmic cycles is the idea of the importance for you to be, um, regulated in your with your mindset, with your mindset, and quite simply breathing techniques, and you know, body scans, like checking. There's a song. that goes, "You better check yourself before you wreck yourself. You better chickadee check yourself before you riggedy wreck yourself." That was a long time ago. But, you know, checking yourself because sometimes I've seen that pattern to be caught in spirals where the the phrase prepare for the best, hope for the worst, prepare for the best, that becomes to be uh, a teeter totter that leans more towards the hoping for the um preparing for the worst as opposed to hoping for the best. Hope for the best, prepare for the worst, but in that process sometimes preparing for the worst, and the preparing for the worst then becomes to be a process of thoughts where we're just, oh, what if that happened, what if that happened, what if that happens, and there's no hoping for the best part. You know what I'm saying? Like, so when you get into that, oh, I'm preparing for the worst, preparing for the worst, preparing for the worst, preparing for the worst, right? There's an importance to skirt, skirskies. Take a pause. Hey, whoa, 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 whoa. New nine. Hang on. Let me take a breath for a moment. Let me regulate and relax my shoulders for a moment. And the specific sequence is the Sun in Virgo and the Gemini rising part. Living water. Zzz, Riri. You should check out one of this video. You remind me of one of the videos that I did where I do this body scan on here. And I activated Operation Throat Chakra Release. And it brought such a calm tone. Check it out. Comment something there so I know that you checked it out. Tell me, hey, this one is, you definitely activated the throat chakra, or mission incomplete. I would love to hear that. And thank you for that. I created that video just for you before I even met you. This is the first time that I've seen your name, but I've created it for you and those who enjoy my voice and the activation of the throat chakra release project. Thank you for being thankful. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Take your time. Um, Zodiac signs in the comments. I got like another 30-ish minutes, 29, 30-ish minutes to be here. Um, the truth about health is not only doesn't only point to physical health, it also points to psychological health, mental health, and mental well-being. That's also health. That is health. Testing, testing. Is the sound quality still good over here on TikTok? Kendra, how are you? I'm over here on YouTube right now. Same name, same lab coat picture, same brown face. You're gonna love it over here. We're talking about the cosmic cycles. Subscribe. All right. Does anybody else want to share their big three or their sun sign, or they have a question? I'm here for it. I know what you meant. That was for me. I was just being specific about the knowledge. Come on over here. You're a Pisces, Aries, Pisces. Sun Pisces, Moon Aries, um, Pisces rising. Wow. Come on over here and put Kendra has Noor. What is Noor? I'm curious. What is Noor? You speak Noor language? Do you speak the language? Um, Welcome. Virgo, Sun, Gemini, Moon, Leo rising. Another one. New 9. Do you see the energy there? Virgo, Sun, Gemini, Moon. As opposed to Virgo, Sun, Gemini rising. You see that there? It's light Arabic. What do you mean it's light Arabic? Nur? That's interesting. I haven't heard that before. Come on over. Hurry, we're waiting for you. Um, Virgo Sun, Virgo. So you're another one. I don't know if you just got here or you've been here or not, but the moon is currently in Virgo now. Oh, it means light in Arabic. Okay. Yeah, not make sure, but when you search for me, put the at symbol and then the cosmic alchemist, all one word when you tap on here. Let me know. Um, so what I've been saying is that Virgo is the sign of health. One of the basic general character traits of Virgo is the health. Um, Physiologically, it's the intestines, large and small, all the way to the duodenum, bada bow. And it deals with waste. It deals with purification, is what it is. That's including getting rid of waste. So when the moon is in your sun sign or where the sun was when you were born, it's a time to, it's like a reset. It's like a new beginning, you know, for you. Out with the old, in with the new. Right. And I was also recognizing that how Virgo is about purity, it also is the purity of the body as well as the purity of the mind. Right. I also want to say this too, that it's important to look at the root meaning of words. This is the cheat code. This is a cheat code or a code or whatever you want to look at it as. This is healthy, I think. Take it as a grain of salt until you check it out. But if and in and when you utilize words, even the words, the simple words that you think that you know the meaning of, look at the root meaning of those words, because when you look at the root meaning of the word, you'd be surprised to find and learn something even more in depth about the simplicity of said word, the origin of where it comes from, and get a good idea of what it truly means. There's so much in the root meaning of words, so much. I'm saying all that. What I'm trying to say is the word meditation. I think of meditation when I see Virgo, Gemini in the big three, or in the individual's chart. Excuse me. And one of the main reasons is because Virgo and Gemini are both ruled by the planet Mercury. Now, Mercury is considered the messenger of the gods. Metaphorically, don't take that Mercury as a god thing and run with it. Like it's a metaphor. It's a metaphor for an angle of energy that points to the faculty of common sense, reason, and rationalizing. You know, Mercury is the planet that's responsible for the ideas that come into our head. And, do you know the good angel, the bad angel, whatever shoulder that these two angles are on, angels, gods, deities, right? That's the mercurial energetic, I'll say, or God, right? It's the good and the bad, the good with the bad, and the balancing these thoughts. They're originally neutral until we put names on them and we start naming things. Oh, that's a good thought. Oh, that's a bad thought. That's one of the reasons why I get on, I'm on a quest not to use what's good and what's bad, because what's good for me might be bad for you and vice versa. Ba-da-ba. Kendra has Nor, welcome. I see you now. I see you now. Right. But that's what I think about when I see patterns with Virgo and Gemini. So what am I trying to say? Kenneth, it might be a good idea to you know, take some time, pause and reset with yourself. Ask yourself, give yourself a little peaceful um, examination, if you will. A little check-in with yourself. That's healthy. I went with that whole root meaning of the word because the word meditation at its origin doesn't mean breathing exercise. It doesn't mean that at its core. It means meditation is actually um, a rehearsing and a reviewing of information. It gives me the idea that it's reviewing information peacefully or in a calm state, but it doesn't necessarily, it's become to mean breath work. But meditation at its core is not breath work. Meditation is rehearsing ideas and contemplation on one thing. When you're working on your business and you're focused on your business and creating a product for your business, that's meditation because you're focusing on how the business is going to, or how this product is going to do for the business, what it's going to cost, when am I going to launch it, what does it look like, what's the artwork behind it, what's the date, all that is a meditation because we're rehearsing in our mind, okay, if I do it on this date, it's going to turn out like that. If I put it with this color, then it's going to turn out like that. If I put it with this day of the week, it's going to turn out like that. Those are rehearsings and is actually what meditation truly is. The breathing exercises are just what they are. They're breathing exercises. They're coherent breath patterns or practices, coherent breath practices, coherent breath exercises. You get in the child pose, you can deal. See that though, the good angel, bad angel, that's actually you've attached, you've named it. That's what I think is um described. That's you just described what giving the good angel, bad angel a name. I can't deal. The interesting thing about that is that um it is said, I've recognized, especially when I talk to my daughters, when they were younger, that the words that I say have power. I say something, they shrink, start crying, right? It's a great way to see how words have power is when you're talking to your children, but it even extends into adulthood, not for nothing. So what I'm trying to say is that even that phrase right there, I can't deal, you know, you're rehearsing. That's a rehearsal. And you know what they say? They say that you practice how you play. That's what they say. Timeless, thank you so much for the one rose. I'm over here on YouTube. Same name, same spelling. We're talking about zodiac signs and big threes and meditation and the Virgo moon. You're gonna love it over here. I'm not talking about liking it. I'm talking about me being on YouTube, ma'am. Same name. You're gonna love it over here. Oh, excuse me. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Good morning. Oh, I see. I see. Thank you for the clarity. I appreciate you. I just realized that what I'm trying to say is get out of my comfort zone brings me great anxiety sometimes. Yeah, possibly. Why did you say, "Oh," when I said my big 3? Um, One of the main reasons that's a good question. A bunch of nonsense, that's perspective, it depends. What's your zodiac sign? Give it a shot. Go ahead, just try give it a try. Why not? It's not hurting nobody, it's Wednesday. You came here and you decided to comment, so why don't you test the nonsense? Test it. Let's test it. One of the main reasons why I said "ooh," because I thought about Saturn. Right now, Saturn from yesterday to today, Saturn just moved to 29 degrees of Pisces. Saturn is going to be moving and ingressing, and it's all of them are moving. All the planets are moving constantly, right? Saturn moves a little bit slower. Saturn is going to be ingressing or entering the sign of Aries again, right? On Valentine's Day. Not for nothing. So I said, ooh, because over the course of the past 2.5 years, Saturn has been in Pisces, which is your sun sign and your rising sign. And the next 2.5 years into the future, Saturn is going to be in Aries. Did I get that wrong? You said you are a but up, but up. I forgot what you said your big 3 were. I hope I can find it. All right, I got lost. I think that you said you're a Pisces sun, Aries rising, Pisces. Well, you said you're Pisces sun, Aries moon, Pisces rising, maybe? I forgot. Forgive me. I scrolled back, but I didn't find it. Rick, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Yes, I'm not doing accurate readings right now or specific readings right now. I'm doing generalization readings of the big 3. Accurate readings are on Sundays. Stay tapped in. Yeah, it's more of it, but it changes a little bit. Pisces midheaven with Lilith. Yeah, so that's the career for you, new 9 naturals with your business. That speaks to your business. Nor Pisces, Aries, Pisces. Yeah, so the Pisces rising, so the sun sign and the rising sign. So like circumstances with the relationship with authority figures, the relationship with male authority figures, men, your father, being told what to do, like you're having a growth spurt, not for nothing. And it doesn't matter your age. We all have growth spurts. We all have continual growth spurts and phases and periods. What's going on in here? Tons of stuff. It stems from Aquarius and Virgo and the character traits of Aquarius and Virgo. Aquarius is truth and knowledge, and Virgo are the details and specifics with health. Put it together, and you can make a concocted meal of uh, knowing more of ways in which to be healthy, if you will, right? For Pisces and Aries, right? Pisces, congratulations. You're almost there until you got until February 14th before Saturn completes its transit or visitation through Pisces, which was and is a feeling of maturity. Said with a pronunciation maturity, maturity. With maturing. I am telling stuff for everyone. This is rated E for everyone. Yes. Thank you for your subscription. Thank you so much. Talking to everyone. Subscribe. Detailed readings, deep dive donation readings on Sunday. Okay. Pisces, you've graduated in some respects. Aries, you're getting ready to go to school, right? That Aries moon, you're in the second phase of this Vedic term, which is called, what is it called? It's called uh, Sati Sati. I just learned about this. I've always known about it, but I didn't know it was called this. And so, long story short, when Saturn is near your moon sign, it's a trying time for the individual. Adonis, thank you for the 300 comments. I appreciate you. I'm over on YouTube right now. Good morning, Grand Rising, all the above, whatever you like. Well, not whatever, but peace and wellness, right? So, you're in the second phase. Long story short, what I'm trying to say, we can get into this a little bit deeper on Sunday to see when it's going to happen or around the time that it's going to happen. Um, but it focuses on your relationship with your mom and your mothering, if you're a mother or thinking about mothering, if you will. Aries, metal, monkey. The metal and the monkey, you can keep that. That's Chinese astrology, I think. I don't get too much into that, right? I can interpret the monkey, but I'm not going to because that's not what I do. I can interpret metal too, but I'm not going to do that because that's not what I do unless we're building and we're doing some framing with metal studs. Then I'm here for it. Let me get my tape measure. You know, Venus would be more about romance. For you, as a female, it would be Mars. Let me scroll back here a little bit. I missed some of these signs. Um, Here. But up. Living waters, Pisces, Scorpio, Scorpio. Wow. Wow. And I say wow because that's highly emotional when all three of the water signs, all three of the big threes, the sun, the moon, and the rising sign are water. Sometimes you drown in your own living waters. Sometimes you drown. Help, you know? Um, but not for nothing and for something. With the sun in Aquarius, right? It focuses on two different areas. Each and every one of us have two different areas once we have the rising sign. So as a Pisces, the sun sign and the rising sign. As a Pisces, in some sense, you started looking at aspects of yourself that you want to improve. Good work with that over the past 2 weeks. Don't beat yourself up too much. One aspect. Also, as a Scorpio rising, you started looking at your roots a little bit, how you were raised, how you were brought up, how that affected you. Don't beat yourself up too much. Acceptance is key, right? Wait, is that why I'm going through a divorce? Any pointers? I'm in hermit mode. Nor it's possible. It's possible. You don't want to be controlled. Get off of me. Don't tell me what to do. You're not the boss of me. If you're being told what to do, all right, it might put you in hermit mode and people are telling you, Nor, you have to do this, you have to do that, you have to do this. Each time someone says that you have to do something, it's more and more annoying, right? Even if it is something that you have to do, it's how people speak to you, right? And it's how they respect you for who you are and what you have done. That's what makes you "Mm, stop talking to me. you know? Um, Energetically and, theoretically, I don't know you. I don't know. We'd have to look at the chart, right? But I've seen that pattern before. Um, mm, mm, um, Samart, Samart, Samarth Sharma, Samarth Sharma, Libra, 19. That Libra, 19th of October gives me a specification of Libra. It's more towards the end of Libra. It's more towards the end of Libra. The other day, I did a progression technique that, you could calculate the progressed sun in your head. And so we can calculate the progressed sun in my head. I can in my head, right? 19 degrees or 19th day of October, the sun changes. October 21st, October 22nd, approximately 21st. So we'll just use the 21st and we'll say 3 days. At the age of 3, you progressed into a Scorpio. Born a Libra, progressed into a Scorpio early. What does that mean? The first 33 years of your life, or first 30 years after 3, um, were filled with the scorpionic energy, transformations in, um, in your life. Maybe you moved, drastic changes that affected your emotions, things of this nature, right? But we'll get into that in a later video. Libra is here. All right. So with this stellium in Aquarius, it really focuses on, I want to say the heart chakra, but I don't get into chakras too much. I don't know because I'm not, that's just, what I'm trying to say is it's the area of the heart in the zodiacal chart without even knowing your rising sign. I'm just automatically assuming that, or I'm placing Libra in the first place because you can do that. It's called a solar chart, right? If you don't know the rising sign, this is another the cheat code. It's one of the reasons to subscribe to this channel because there's cheat codes if you have an ear for it. Right? We can put the sun on the ascendant if we don't know your rising sign, and I don't because you didn't put it there. You don't have to put it there. Um, puts Libra at 1, Scorpio at 2, Sag at 3, Capricorn 4, Aquarius 5. Right? The fifth house is the house of the heart. What does the heart have to do? What does it symbolize? It symbolizes love. It symbolizes creativity. It symbolizes your self expression and what brings joy to you. It brings joy for you to experience knowledge and truth and freedom to express your love however you like, if that makes sense. Be Nixon, 2026. How are you? Um, I'm not pulling up birth charts right now. Come back on Sunday. Subscribe, like the live, like it, subscribe to it, hit the notification, turn on the notifications so you can be on the list for deep dive donation based specific readings. You gave up on it because you were adopted, so you don't know what time or where exactly I was born. Don't give up. Do we have at least a birthday? Do we have at least a birth date? Don't give up. Hang in there, trooper. I should give up. Thank you so much for commenting. You've inspired me. You've just inspired me to go further. You've just inspired me to go further. Thank you so much. Thank you. If you got a birthday in a city, it's a starting point. It's a starting point because you can still use the birthday will still give you an approximation of some of the planetary stations. Yeah, for all those who thank you so much. You're so funny. You're so funny. I appreciate your comment and the support. You inspire me. You've been a leader of gas for me. I appreciate you. I'm not going to block you. I'm going to keep you here. Thank you so much for showing me attention and giving me some love. Put your zodiac sign in the comments. I'd love to see what type of energy I'm working with. I love you. You're so funny. You're so funny and I love you. Don't be so mad. It's not your fault. I love you. You should change your name, though. So funny. It might benefit you to change your name. And I love you. And love you. Ooh, will always love you. Da-na-na-na-na. What's your zodiac sign? I'm so curious. Mm. So again, I want to bring it back to Aquarius, the stellium in Aquarius, the sign of truth, the sign of um, knowledge, and the zodiac sign Virgo, the sign of health. How did I get into it? It can't through the family. My grandmother shared it with my cousin, and my cousin shared it with me, and then we began to um, build upon the topic for quite some years, fanatically, actually. You know, exploring the different patterns. Oh, I'm not telepathic. I've heard that we all are, but that's not something that I focus on. Okay, that's perfect. Now, why did you shut up? Okay. And yeah. So funny. LOL. You're so hilarious. I'm gonna ask. I'm gonna ask that question. Thank you so much. Um, thank you for the gas, for all the gas early on a Wednesday on a hump day. Hump day gas. Thank you. Um, Venus in Aquarius. Yes, Venus is in Aquarius, denoted by this symbolism here. Right. This chart too here, by the way, is um astrological information, but these symbols are also used by NASA. Not for nothing. Vale, thank you so much for the rose. I'm over here on YouTube. How are you? I see you. You're more than welcome to come on over and subscribe to the channel. Excuse me. We're talking about zodiac signs. That's your natal Venus? Okay, I'm good. I'll head over there. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Let me know. Say, hey, it's Vale, because I don't know if your name's going to be the same. Make sure you get the spelling is the same as the spelling here. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Um, so if you have Venus or you were born when Venus was in Aquarius and Venus is currently in Aquarius now, then it's called a Venus return. Venus is has returned. What does this mean? Well, it depends on the how Vale, that was quick. How are you? Cosmic caramel chameleon. We needed some caramel over here. Thank you so much. We were just talking about caramel. We were just talking about caramel. Thank you so much. So funny loves caramel, actually. I think. I could be wrong. It's just a theory. You're good? That's good. I'm glad that you're good. So, we're talking about Venus return. I'm glad that you're glad to be here. I'm glad that you're here. You come to the perfect place. You made a good you picked you're gonna love it here. And so I don't know what degree Venus is at in Aquarius for you, because with that information, it would give us a specific day, is what it would give us. It would give us a specific day, and that day would denote this Venusian energy. Theoretically, energetically, I don't know you. Perhaps you got a scratch off ticket and you won 20 bucks, maybe, which is not a lot, but it's more than you had. It's Venusian. Venus, Venus deals with those things that we appreciate. Like I appreciate So Funny. I appreciate the gas that So Funny has brought to this live. It's 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 something that I've learned to appreciate. Oh, we're here to get the input. I'd love the input, right? Another thing about Venus and Aquarius also points to the type of relationships that you prefer. There's a preference of relatable engagements that deal with truth and knowledge. So if it's someone who behaves with a low literacy level, then it might be a hard pass. You see what I'm saying? Oh, you decided to come over here. Thank you so much. We needed some aphrodisiac. We got caramel over here. We got aphrodisiac. It's I love this. Do you recognize that? Um, Phoenix of the Crown, triple eight. Oh, you said March 15th? That gives us a specific degree, March 15th. There's February Pisces and there's March Pisces. You're towards the end. 15 degrees is approximate. See, the sun changes on March 21st. So we have 6 days left. You're approximately 24 degrees, or the sun, not you, but the sun was positioned at 24 degrees of Pisces. What does this mean? Your sun, it's just over the past 3 to 4 months, Phoenix of the Crown, congratulations. Congratulations for the work that you've done and for how much you've matured. I want to say congratulations to you, honestly. If no one has recognized the hard work that you've done, I'm doing it here today, right? 2.5 years of maturity, especially. I said 3 months. I'll go back to 6 months. Let's do 6 months ish. Maybe even longer than that, maybe a year, because Saturn retrograded back into Pisces. And I think it went back to 25 degrees, which is really close to your sun. So you really had to pump the brakes. Skirskis. You really had to. The energy, the ego, humble pie, maybe lots of humble pie for dinner, you know, bring it way down. Saturn is a teacher. Jupiter's a teacher. Saturn is a teacher. Two different types of teachers. Jupiter, a little more lofty in its teachings. Saturn, a little more specific and strict in its teachings. Shadow work, soberness, practicing emotional intelligence. Thank you. Living waters, you said it. Congratulations on the soberness if you're a Pisces. Huge. Thank you, everyone, for being here, for sure. Saturn's a little bit more strict in its learning. Saturn's like, there's a consequence to that. Ah, ah, ah. You know what I'm saying? You're 222, living water, so you know. You're a little more seasoned Then Phoenix of the Crown, it's a little fresher for Cosmic of the Crown because he's later. But let me get back into it. So Cosmic of the Crown, what I'm trying to say, I was earlier the other day, yesterday, I was talking about an easy way in which to calculate one's progressed sun. There's a progress chart, but I was just progressing the sun. All right. So you gave us specific information, places the sun at 24 degrees of Pisces. So at the age of 6, you progressed into an Aries. What does this mean? Um, from the age of 6, you became this leader, this warrior, this, you know what I mean? This want to be first. Dun, 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 Superman, superheroes, maybe, possibly, maybe not, but a champion. I want, desire to be a champion. And that was for 30 years, approximately. So if you're older than 36, then you've progressed into a Taurus. Not for nothing. If you're older than 6, which I'm sure you are, and you're younger than 36, then you're still in this Aries state. But if you're older than 36, then you're in Taurus. If you're 36, then we'd have to fine tune and look a little bit more detailed and specific um, on the progressed sun. Your sign evolves. You evolve. Changes, yes. Changes, evolves, yes. Yes. But it doesn't mean that he was born when the sun was at 24 degrees Pisces. He's always going to be that. This is another way in which to calculate one's progression or one's evolution, if you will. Sherry, how are you? Cheryl, excuse me. Excuse me. Won't happen again. Thank you so much for sharing your information. I'm not doing those today. I'm not doing those today. Detailed readings. On Sundays, I'm doing deep dive donation based readings. You're gonna want to be here. You're gonna want to get here early because the list is filling up. Well, not the list, but people. There's gonna be a lot of people here on Sunday. Not gonna want to miss it. Even if you don't want an interpretation of your chart, coming here listening, you can absorb some information, some energy, maybe a technique or two, maybe a cheat code or three. I don't know. Maybe. Depends on how I'm feeling. Um, yeah, so sit with that. Um, oh, you said she is still a warrior with a heart of blue. She, yes, she is. Um, did you say your age? Did you get that part when I said older than 6, younger than 36? I think you got that. You can calculate that from there, right? You don't have to make sure you be here, but if you want to be here, then you're here. Then you're here. Yes, you calculated. Okay, perfect. Living water is 42. Okay, so you said you're 42. Okay, so you're 2 degrees. You're not 2 degrees, but February 2nd is approximately that. No, you said, hang on, I got confused there for a moment. Hang on a second. Wait a minute. 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 Okay, you're February. Yes, you're February 22nd. The sun ingressed into Pisces on February 19th, approximately, give or take 19, 20, 21, 22. That's 3. So 30 minus 3 is 27, 8, 9, 10, 7, 8, 9, 10, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 27 degrees. So 27 years of your life, you were swimming in living waters. You're swimming in the living waters. That's perfect, right? For 27 years of living water swimming. And then at 27, which is a crit. So to your 27 to 30 years was a doozy, right? Being this compassionate person, soft, gentle, maybe a purr, maybe, I don't know, possibly, theoretically, into this warrior spirit. Dun, 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 similar to Phoenix of the Crown. Dun, 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 dun. Now you're all into the YouTube stuff now. Do you see you, aphrodisiac? I knew we'd get you to cross over to the brown side. You're over here. It wasn't treacherous, living waters. It was beautiful. Accept that it was beautiful. Don't do that. Don't you do that. It was beautiful. It wasn't treacherous. It was not treacherous. I would agree to disagree. The reason I would agree to disagree is something that would benefit you to look at it as golden, especially if it hurt, especially if it was challenging. Golden. Why? Because you learn so much from it. It made you who you are. And I hope that you never forget it. I hope that you never forget it. Our challenges are the most golden opportunities. It's not hitting the lotto. It's not being a champion and winning the championship. Not being the number one in the number one place. It's the journey up to that. That's the gold that makes it. That's the aftermath. The trophy, the gold, the money, the glitter, the afterwards. The afterwards. It's the aftermath. It's the now going down the hill. Going up the hill is the gold. That's where the muscles build and get strong. Angel, what's the brown side? I'm just talking. Use your imagination. Come on over. We're over here on YouTube. Same name, same lab coat, same brown face. Come through. Hurry. Yeah, don't hop onto the tornado. Don't hop onto the tornado. I'm glad I came across your channel. You have a lot of knowledge in astrology. Just a little bit, Joe. Just a little bit. Just a touch of love. A little bit. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I've been here. I said I was going to be here for 29 minutes, 30 minutes. I ended up being here for 46 minutes, 47 now. Hi. Um, I love all of you for coming here and hanging out with me, listening to me. I got a lot more. But I can't stuff it all in one live. I could. It'd be too long. I'm not sure how many of you would watch it. You got shit to do. Right. So we'll do it in increments. We'll do it in increments. Thank you. Thank you for acknowledging. Thank you for saying that. Some more gas. See something? We got good gas. We got bad gas. That's going against my quest. I'm on a quest not to use good and bad. We have different gas for different engines. Thank me. There's many ways to thank me. You can thank me by liking the live. You can thank me by subscribing. You can thank me by going into my bio. You can see ways to donate to the channel. You can also thank me by joining the Discord and asking questions. Those who are in the Discord, it's going to be a way to be able to have a hold of the Cosmic Alchemists because I'm going to be checking it. If I'm not live, if I'm pooping, maybe I'll look at the Discord and I'll be like, oh wow, they asked about such and such. Maybe I'll incorporate this into the next live, right? Poop astrology. I'm just kidding. All right. I'll be back. Have a good day.